I find it interesting, these two juxtaposition readings today, Paul's letter to the Corinthians and then the gospel, looking at, in human standards, how do we recognize what God presents to us? And oftentimes, it's a realization that God's strength and power is more recognized, I think, by the lowly, the marginalized, those who are despised, that they realize their dependence on God is salvation. And in that gift, how do you then come to an attitude of life of working with others? God, throughout salvation history, oftentimes is there most clearly seen in the hardships and difficulties of his people. And as he offers them a fullness of strength, we see time and time again in that wealth the forgetting of God's presence, and then the decline, and then coming back to recognizing God of how do we depend on him. Jesus offers a parable to the disciples, those who are following him. And it is a realization of 5 talents, 2 talents, a talent. Talents was a huge amount of wealth. It wasn't just some little thing. It was a large, like over a year's salary for many. And as this wealthy person goes on the journey, he asks those to be stewards of the gifts that he gives. And the one is able to immediately take it, and he doubles it. And the one with 2 does the same. But the third, realizing, oh, he's a hard and difficult master, I'll just make sure it's safe. He comes back and he turns to the one who was able to double the 5 and recognizes the ability and will give more responsibility, and the 2 the same. He's offering that hope, that perseverance in life. And where are we? How do we recognize what has God given to us? Well, we're here today. That's saying a lot. We are recognizing the relationships that we have in our lives. That is a gift. We're recognizing that we are loved, and in that love and in that care that God calls us to be stewards. And what are we doing with that? How are we investing what has been shared with us that on our own, it's not like we have a right to it, but it is a gift. And in that giftedness, how do we then multiply it? How do we recognize the opportunities that we have? Not necessarily in the monetary material world, but more importantly, in the attitude of the humility, the compassion, the zeal that God presents. And in those opportunities, in what ways will we take to share a kind word, a compliment, a gift of helping one another, an opportunity of recognizing that the other person is seen, that they count? As we come before the Lord this day, may we take the opportunity, especially on this Labor Day weekend, to recognize the blessings that God gives, and in those blessings to not only thank him, but also ask in what ways can we share that goodness with one another, and in that goodness truly seek to multiply the talents that we have.